What's up, everybody, and thank you so much for tuning in to 305 Radio, a part of 305 Magazine, right here on your number one underground station, MiamiUndergroundRadio.com. Happy New Year. This is the first show of 2019, and I'm your girl, Dre Mob. You can catch me on the gram at 305_Brownie. I was about to give a shout out to Willie, but he surprised me and actually made it today.
Here. Yo, I'm in the hizzy.
Yo, this is episode 30-something. Nice. And Will is finally in the building.
I've been here at Heart the whole time, though.
We've had guests come in and be like, yo, where's this Will guy? So
he's a phantom?
He's a phantom. He's a phantom guest. I'm a host. So this is George, 305 Magazine. Thank you for tuning in, internets. And today we have not one but two special guests. We have DJ EFN.
Beats in the hood in the building.
For those of y'all that don't know EFN, man, he's a Miami OG pioneer. Man, for real, you're a pioneer. Even when I was coming up and it was high school, you were making moves. You had the first hip-hop store in Miami.
No, not the first.
Yeah,
it wasn't the first. It wasn't the first.
Second.
No, not even.
He's a first,
I can't take credit for
first.
things.
Very well recognized.
I mean, the Crazy Goods.
Crazy Goods, yeah.
It was pretty dope.
Proud of the store, but it wasn't the first store.
Okay, I thought it was probably one of the first I was put onto.
Dope.
I'll leave it.
That's enough. That's enough.
Right. So, man, what don't you do? I mean,
we've tried to do everything.
You have Drink Champs, one of the biggest podcasts in the world.
TV
the
show
number
too.
one.
The biggest number one, right?
Number
the biggest,
one.
Yeah, he's the number
Congratulations,
one. He just
by
beat
the
out
way.
Joe Rogan.
Number one in the building.
Nah, I mean, we're number one. Okay, let me just explain how it works. When you drop episodes, I mean, if you have a good, solid following, you're going to reach number one on iTunes in your category, and we do that often. Okay. You know what I'm saying? So we are one of the top in the music category.
The top.
Top.
And in terms of hip-hop podcasts, we are...
top.
One of the you in the top.
Say it.
Nah, bro.
You won't say it, but we'll say it.
Yeah. We'll say it for you, bro.
If Nori was here, he would definitely say it.
Definitely. Shout out to Nori. No, yeah, man. No, but that's I mean, you do Drink Champs don't say it, but I'll say it. Number one hip hop.
A top rated.
Top rated number one. And
yeah. Ooh, sounded like a horror movie.
I thought we just went.
Michael Myers is jumping in the building.
Right.
Special guest Michael Myers in the building. We're all dead.
That's gonna be horrible.
That'll be a top-rated episode, man.
Let me just tell you something.
Mataron a EFN, yeah, boys.
Yo, during post, this is gonna kill me, right? Just want you to know that sound. My bad. That's all right.
Do it again.
Do it again. We like it, that shit. Anyways, but so yeah, man. Tell us a little bit about Drink Champs, bro. I've heard the story off the air,
right?
But I want to hear it, on the air. Tell me how Drink Champs came about. What was the seed that was put in your mind for it, and how did it come to fruition?
So it's kind of a long story, so I'm gonna try to shorten it for you guys for the sake of the time we have here. But and you might have come by the office when we had our warehouse office studios on 117th and 120th in Kendall. And we had a show that was first on XM radio before the merger of Sirius XM, and then it was on Sirius XM, and it was on several different networks in those channels, like on Hip Hop Nation, on what was it, Raw, 66 Raw, different. So, and that show was called Militant Crazy Raw Radio. And we wanted to include all the elements that was Nori, that was us. It was a ridiculous name, but it was. If you look, there's clips of that show on YouTube, and if you watch it, it sounds and looks just like Drink Champs. We drink Tiger Bone. We say make some noise. We introduce ourselves the same way, and that was something that we did, and we really had a lot of fun doing it. We didn't get no money out of it. It was a weekly show on XM, then Sirius XM. We did it for like 3 years, and we stopped doing it because Nori started touring with Capone in Europe. I was managing Mayday, and we were getting really busy, and so I was trying to find a way that we could do something similar to that without the constraints of like a weekly schedule that we had to be putting it out every week. And then podcasting came to mind, and shout out to my boy Godfrey from Gamertag Radio.
Shout out Godfrey.
He's always been pushing podcasts. He was always telling me you should podcast. in the podcasting community, they're not like every other community of business where they keep it to themselves. They actually tell people you should podcast. You know, like everybody should be a podcaster. And he was always pushing that to me. And then I told Nori. And in the beginning, Nori didn't really know what a podcast was. You know, in hip hop, it was like a nerd thing. It wasn't really a big thing in hip hop. And then Nori got approached by Loudspeakers Network, which is Combat Jack and Charlemagne and all these people. And he just threw the alley-oop to me. He's like, yo, this podcast thing that he was talking about, you know, talk to these guys. We tried to do something. It didn't work out. And then, okay, so that's one side of the story real quick. I have to actually backtrack.
Okay.
When we were in the studio doing the other one, having nothing to do with podcast or radio or anything we were doing, we were calling ourselves Drink Champs. Like, that was a thing in our studio at Crazyhood. We were just big drinkers. You know, everybody knew that we were like, I was always with the Bacardi bottle. We were just always just big drinkers. We were like, we had like an underground casino in our offices, like we were playing poker and all this crazy stuff. So we were always like, if you couldn't handle yourself, you weren't a drink champ. That was our thing.
All right.
And Nori even, like, he was around us, so he absorbed that. He even did a song with the Alchemist called Drink Champs.
Yeah.
And so that was just a term that we had. I thought that term was just dope. So I trademarked it. I copywrote it. I got the handles on social media before I knew it would be anything. I didn't know what it was going to be. I just knew I liked it.
Well, you know it's going to be something.
I just didn't know what. I just knew I'm going to turn this into something. And then I got with Scam and we created a logo for it. This is like maybe 4 or 5 years before Drink Champs, the podcast existed.
Okay.
You know, I might be off by a year or two, but it's far
Well,
off.
that's the time.
Yeah. We call it drunk facts when we're off by a year.
Drunk facts.
Yeah, because drunk memory is horrible. It's off by a name or a year or something. You
It's
know,
off by a bit.
his name
One
is
way or
not
another.
Carlos. It's Juan. You know, whatever. You know? So when Nori brought the loudspeaker guys, and then we started talking about podcasting. I was like, yo, let's call it Drink Champs. You know, I got everything ready. And he's like, interesting. Okay, cool. He wasn't really sold on podcasting, period, yet. And then he did the Tax Stone podcast.
Okay.
And then basically for Nori, because like I said, it was like a nerd thing. Hip-hop wasn't really on to podcasting yet. He saw a street dude like himself in Tax Stone. And he's like, oh, okay, you do podcasting too? Like, he saw himself being able to do this. And then he was more like, yeah, no, I'm down, I'm ready.
Okay.
Let's do it. And then we were going to go with Loudspeakers Network, but Godfrey put us down with CBS. And then we're all just suckers for brands. We're like, CBS just sounds so big. You know, like suckers for a brand. And Nori's like, yeah, CBS. I mean, come on. That just sounds like, just saying the name. I don't care if we get no money. We just sound
great.
big, you know?
CBS.
Yeah, we sound super big. And then we went with CBS, and then the rest is history. Like, the first show, and just for anybody trying to do a podcast, whatever, like, I did my research, and I was asking other podcasters, like, what do you think a successful podcast? I said, I just want to make a couple extra G's a month. Like, I just thought of this as a side little hustle hobby thing.
Yeah.
You know, not like my main thing. I'm like, I just want to make a couple extra bucks. I definitely don't want to lose money in this endeavor.
Of course.
They were like, if you could get like 60,000 listens within a 3-week period or a month period, get like a couple $1,000s a month, you'll be, golden. I'm like, not bad. I'm down with that. Bro, the first Fat Joe episode, which was the second episode we recorded. First one was who was it? Yeah, Kenny Anderson. He was the first one, but we put him out later. But the second one was Fat Joe, and we put that out first. It clocked in at 300,000 listens.
Jesus.
And then the rest is history. From then on, it just kept climbing.
That is amazing.
Yeah, and it clocked in the first week at 300, not like several weeks where they said several weeks 60,000. You're good. It clocked in like
So you
immediately.
Completely over-delivered.
Over-delivered. I've always wondered, what does viral look like? Like, I thought it was a conspiracy with viral. Like, who the fuck was viral, man? That's some government shit, man.
Some bullshit.
You know,
You made that up.
Someone's paying for that crap, man. You liar. You not viral. You just bought them views. Yo, we went viral. That's what happened. And I was like, oh shit, I'm viral.
So what, your computer broke? What happened?
No, just the fact that it spread without us trying.
Yeah.
That's what I've always thought was viral. And it went viral. People
so
just
dope.
like the concept of drinking with artists and not necessarily like I don't like to tell people we interview people. I like to say we're just having combos over drinks.
Yeah.
And you're just a fly on the wall listening to something that otherwise wouldn't be recorded.
I mean, that's the vibe everyone gets. At least
Right.
that's the vibe I get from the show completely. So it's like, you really, it's people talk about organic. This is as organic as it gets.
Yeah.
That's amazing. So a lot of people, let's start off with have you been starstruck by any of these artists?
I mean, I've definitely been like with Premier coming on, and I had worked with him even on my album before we had him on, but still, like these legends and these people that I revere, when they come on, I'm just like, oh my God, I can't believe I'm in the presence of greatness, and even when we had Puff that he came on the show, it was like a little like, oh, this is a little crazy.
Crazy. Puff just shows up.
Puff got drunk as hell. He bring Cassie. We're talking about you eat ass, like all this crazy crap.
Jesus.
I've been starstruck. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. Like it gets to a point where now I'm kind of used to it and it's all good. But I still say to myself like, man, this is hella cool. To be doing something. And for me, most importantly, like I get like don't get everybody gets like their little haters and people always tell me, oh man, you always talking about you from Miami and you Cuban, like shut the fuck up. I'm like, well bitch, if I don't say it, nobody will, because what's important to me is that I rep the crib and that I let people know, because it's very easy for people to think. I get all the time emails from artists or labels and they're like, oh, we're in New York, man, we ready to do Drink Champs. Well, by the way, we're based out of Miami. Like I'm very proud that this was born in Miami, created in Miami, co-created by a fellow Miamian, and co-hosted by a Miamian. And so I'm always making sure I remind people. And what people have to understand is when we have a guest sit down, they might not know the story of Drink Champs or may not know something. Mm-hmm. So it's like I said, you're a fly on the wall. That convo, I'm not thinking about that you've heard the show 17 million times already and you're sick of me saying it. I'm actually talking to that guy, my guest, who didn't know that.
Yeah, absolutely.
So when he says, "Oh yeah, because you're Puerto Rican," I'm Cuban, B.
I'm Cuban.
But the guy was like, "Oh, you keep saying you're Cuban, bro." Yeah, bro, because this guy didn't know that, obviously, So we're from Miami, so it's something that I'm very proud of,
That is so dope, man. I'm glad you're putting Miami on the map for everything you do, man.
Yeah, we're very proud to have you doing that, because that's something that you're not doing just now with Drink Champs, but that's something that you've done since the get.
It's always been the point of Crazyhood Productions for sure,
man. And you not, have you been, when you're talking to these artists, you speak to Ja Rule, you talk about the beefs, you talk about a little bit about everything. Now, do you feel like when the Ja Rule 50 beef was happening, do you feel like we were robbed from more action? Because you hear them get hype about it. No,
what kind of action though? Like I don't want nobody to get shot.
No. But I mean, like
all of that could have easily, it got violent,
Well, yeah, but I mean, like in the sense of, how do I word this?
Just more details, more juicy details. Like there's stuff that I've heard on some of those interviews that like I've thought about, because you see, the tabloids or whatever, but you don't really get like the real story from the person. And that's something that you guys have been able to do, is bring out all of those details that are left out from the publications or internet or whatever. I mean,
that goes, look, we have a cheat code. The cheat code is Nori. Nori is a fellow artist with these guys. Yeah, no, that's the cheat code. You know what I'm saying? Like they're peers. Like they're super peers. He knows these guys really well. They've been around each other. Especially when it's the guys from New York. You know what I'm saying? Uh-huh. So that's the cheat code. So their guard goes down, and then you introduce liquor. Then your guard goes all the way down. And some people, there's been artists and guests that have, after the show, they're like, man, like, I got a little too lit, like, can you edit something? We really tend to not edit anything, and we tell people, it's like, look, man, like, we're not bending your arm. Everybody's a grown-ass man or woman here. Like, you don't have to drink. The truth is, there's guests that are intimidated to come. That's the problem we're having now. People are intimidated to come to Drink Champs. And they're even like, I don't really drink like that. You don't have to drink. We had Royce the 5'9", a recovering alcoholic, and that's one of my favorite shows. Whoa. You know what I'm saying? We do all the drinking for you. We're gonna act dumb. We're gonna say dumb things. Nori's gonna be Nori, and when Nori's too drunk, then I kick in and say whatever questions I have, and that's the way it works. And so it's a crazy dynamic, and it's evolving, and people are getting intimidated, and it's interesting, and
it's so dope though.
Yeah, and
you have people like, I don't know if I should go to Drink Champs.
Bro, I've seen guests
might spill the beans.
What's ill for me is when I see a guest come on the show and they're like nervous and they're shaking, and I'm like, you're scared of us? You know, like, come on, man. Like,
Have a drink.
you're the legend. You're the legend, man. You know, I should be nervous. So it's cool, man.
That is so dope, man. And you're about to hit season 2.
Season 3.
No, season 3.
We're going on, bro. We started in 2016.
You started 2 years ago.
2016.
So you're on season 3 now.
Yeah, it's mind blowing.
Yo,
and it went from just audio podcast to audio, and then digital on YouTube, visually, and then on Revolt TV. So now we're on 3 different platforms.
That's amazing.
3 different audiences. Yeah, it's crazy, man.
That is so dope. And you have, I think it's really dope to see that you have artists using Drink Champs as a reference in whatever their day-to-day conversation is.
Yeah,
So let's step away from Drink Champs real quick.
for sure.
You don't only do Drink Champs.
Absolutely not.
I mean, you stay mad busy. You got, the umbrella for all of this is Crazyhood.
Crazyhood Productions. Yeah.
Crazyhood Productions. And then you also have another podcast.
Yeah.
You do.
I have 2 other ones.
The Fatherhood.
Fatherhoods, which I just started just because I'm a father. And I was having convos with 2 of my other friends. Not recording it, just like, yo, what do I do? Because they got kids.
Moved.
And then we decided, we're like, yo, like, hip hop needs, people, not just hip hop, everybody, but in terms of hip hop, we don't have enough representation of parenting and being fathers and what that all entails. And there might be a lot of people that could use this just the same way we're talking to each other. So we started Fatherhoods with my boy KGB and Manny Digital. KGB, he's in LA. Manny Digital's in New York, and we do it via Skype. And we had Bun B recently. There was a write-up on that. We've had a bunch of cool guests on there. And that's just something, it's just something we're doing out of love. Like most of the things that I try to do, I never go in with the intention of like, oh, this is going to be the cha-ching money maker.
Yeah.
If I don't have a passion for it or a love for it or just think it's just a cool idea, then I'm not going to do it. Like I'm just me personally. I'm not one of those dudes that chases a certain like, oh, this is gonna make mad money, You're
just chasing the passion.
The passion, yeah, man. It's always been the way I've tried to do things. And then we have Fatherhood, and then me and Boris started a pod.
Yes.
Just as pure comedy called Lost in Translation. And it's just it's lit for short,
Micrófono.
Talk on the mic, Boris. See, this is exactly how it is. He doesn't even know the mic. And I talked to him about current events and politics and world events and see where that goes.
Shit that I'm lost because I don't be, that's what it's called, lost in translation.
Yeah, so we have a it's not even episode 1. We recorded like a demo version. It sounds really rough at my boy's crib just for shits and giggles. And that's out there right now. And then Recognize decided it was so funny, he wanted to add sound effects to it. So he added like little sound bites to it.
Amazing.
And so it's out there right now. Lost in Translations, the demo, episode 1.
Demo episode 1.
And Fatherhood is on like episode, I don't know, like 10 or 12 or something like that.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah.
That is really dope. I mean, and so you do the podcasting. The podcasting, I can imagine, is a big experience because you've been hustling during a time that we didn't have the internet to be able to download MP3s.
Right.
You were a physical DJ where you had vinyl.
Put out cassette
Flyers were not on IG. They were literally
you put out
handed
mixtapes like a mofo.
Yeah.
I mean, like, there's DJ EFN mixtape. How many did you do? Because you had a shit ton.
It went into like maybe the volume 50 or something.
I mean, you have all these mixtapes you're working on. You put out your own album eventually.
Yeah,
like
that was always a dream of mine. Yeah,
and you have all these classic artists, and producers on. Now the production was in house.
Yeah, I mean in house, and then I did get DJ Premier. I had like some guest production on there. Yeah,
that's awesome.
Buck Wild from DITC did a beat.
I mean, you even had Milk.
Yeah.
That shit was dope.
Yeah.
That shit was dope. Also, for those of you that don't know who Milk is, look up your hip hop history. It's really dope.
Yeah.
But I mean, like,
from audio too, if anybody. And we have Black Milk also from Detroit, which is another artist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't know. I wasn't up on that.
Yeah.
All right. Cool. Dope. All right. So you have all these things that you've been a part of. How do you feel like music in a sense that you've seen this shift in the technology and how we receive this? How do you see that happening? Like, how do you see the
then versus now?
Yeah, then versus now.
I mean, look, there's pros and cons to the way things are now and then, and it's easy to be like an old head and be like, I was always better back then.
Yeah.
The only thing that I miss, and I think that is missed for today's generation, is like, there's just so the internet and the digital age and just the advances that you could record a album on your iPhone if you wanted to.
Yeah.
added this extra like oversaturation of just too much stuff coming out, like a lot of stuff coming out. It's just hitting you in the head every day. So my thing is, I love the era where it was like you knew every once a month or every couple of weeks you go to the rap section in the store, whatever the new music was, you grabbed it. In my case, we stole it. And then you open the cassette tape and you read all the credits and you read the thank yous and you put yourself in this person's world. So if it was an artist from Compton, you were like in Compton and you knew all the producers and who they worked with. And then when that producer worked with another artist, you kind of went and followed them down that road and you got a glimpse of what they were about and you just got really into these artists through all this artwork and thank yous and all this stuff. You can't do that anymore. That's not there. And you can't even, you don't even know half the music that's coming out now.
It's true.
You know, like as a DJ, like you know, like people were like, yo, so and so, he got 1 million followers. I'm like, who is that guy? You know, it's like everybody basically, and this is the pro. The pro is that now the gatekeepers don't hold everything. You don't have to go through the gatekeepers anymore. Now, there is some mirages where people think that the internet is totally like this free world where anything goes, but the truth is the gatekeepers have gotten smart and they've hidden themselves and they're controlling some of these apparatuses and they're putting out artists, making it seem like they're totally independent and they're not. You know, so there's a lot of like things going on, but the pro of it is that now an artist cannot have to sound like this artist, can build their own lane, they can find their audience, it's direct to consumer. And that's the cool thing about today. But it's complicated, man. We've lost some stuff and we gained some stuff. And then there's just no good or bad about it. It is what it is, you know?
I mean, I asked that question because I just like hearing some input on it. You know what I mean? Because it's as long as people really, really understand I like seeing where everyone's head's at with that. You know what I mean? But I stay away from that. Right. So let's move on to
Coming Home.
Coming Home. I mean,
the Super Passion Project.
Yeah, man. That's
incredible project.
Man, it started off with a trip to Cuba.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I still haven't seen Colombia, though. I'm sorry.
Amazing.
It's the only one I haven't seen.
It's not out yet.
I asked you, what's your nationality? What's your parents?
I'm from Panama.
You're Panamanian, okay. So that's why you didn't know what azabache was.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's why. I mean, also...
I would think Panamanians use that too,
That's the thing, bro. Like, I live in Little Havana, so I should know. But I'm just not exposed to that stuff.
Did you figure out what it was?
I looked it up.
Okay.
I Googled it. So
my mom just cursed me out because I still haven't pinned the one that she gave me for my baby. She's like, my dog, God! She went crazy on me, bro.
That is hysterical. We're talking. This is in regards to this thing I posted on IG, which was make moves in silent. Don't tell anyone, or else they make brujeria on you.
Yeah.
I have no idea what azabache is. I had no clue.
Yeah, it's supposed to like ward off evil eye, basically.
Yeah, it's like a lucky charm for
it's a stone,
someone
isn't it?
else to give you.
It's a stone, yeah.
A black stone.
Yeah. I don't carry a wallet anymore, but I actually have it in the wallet that I recently carried. My mom had given me one and I keep it. You know, I'm like one of those people that's like, I don't necessarily believe in all these things. I'm like, it's not gonna hurt me, bro. In case that shit is real. I mean,
yeah, exactly.
I mean, just light that candle. I don't know.
Just
what
in case
that's
it's
gonna
real,
do.
the candle's on.
Let me light the sage. I don't know what this is gonna do, but just in case.
Well, it is proven, like scientific, that sage does relax.
Scientifically?
Science has spoken.
Does what? What does it do?
That sage, actually, it's un calmante. So it calms everyone around.
So if there's an evil spirit, it's calming them down? Because that's what I do. I'm like, get away.
I thought you were sparking up, ghost blunts or something. I don't know, but
the way I use it at the crib, I'm like, I'm sweeping the ghost out. They're like, yo, gotta go, guys. Sorry, the bar's closed.
Closing time. Nah, man.
Coming Home. Tell us about
How
the
did
series.
this start, man?
Well, you kind of mentioned it. Yeah, so I'm Cuban American. I had never been to Cuba. Garcia, my partner in the first couple ones, he's Cuban American. He hadn't been to Cuba. And so, you know, most Cuban Americans or people that are raised in Miami would understand there's like a taboo with going to Cuba.
Yeah.
You know, especially like the generation that our parents are from, that left the revolution and all that stuff, escaped the revolution. They're just like, you don't go because if you go, you're contributing to the Castro regime, you're giving money to them. So there's all this thing. So, you know, for years, you know, I even grew up like as this like Republican kid because of my family, you know, and there's this whole historic thing with the Kennedys and Bay of Pigs, whatever. We won't go into that. But
we only have an hour.
Right.
We're already halfway through the show, so.
But when I got old enough, you know, I have my own thoughts, my own ideas. I'm like, you know what, man? Like, it'd be sad to not see Cuba in the bubble that potentially is kind of like what my parents left, because it's kind of like Rome. Yeah. It's falling apart, but it's still, the old,
still hasn't changed.
The old buildings are still there, the old cars are still there. So I'm like, man, that'd be kind of cool to see, before there's McDonald's and Taco Bell in every corner.
Fact, yeah.
So we went, and it was like I was kind of in a rush when I finally decided, okay, I'm gonna go. I was in a rush because I knew that at some point soon it was gonna open up. Mm-hmm. So this was before the Obama opening. We went in 2012.
Okay.
And so first we decided we wanted to go. It wasn't about a film. It wasn't about anything. It was just about a trip to go and follow our roots and all that. Mm-hmm. Then I'm like, if we're gonna go, we might as well film it. Being the content guys that we are, we're in entertainment. We're creating content, whether it's music or film, whatever. We're like, let's just film it. Even if it's just for ourselves, our family, our grandkids, our kids, whatever, Mm-hmm. So, okay, let's film it. What are we going to do? Well, let's try and connect with hip-hop artists out there. That'd be kind of dope.
Yeah.
So we go out there, and that's the premise. We go. It wasn't really an intention to make a film that was going to impact anybody but ourselves, for our families. I didn't think anybody was going to give a damn outside of our family units and our friends. So we go out there, we film it, we come back, we edit it. Basically, like Garcia's in my crib, in my apartment, and he's like, he's literally on the computer. I'm there with him, like, okay, cut this, edit this, and he's like, yeah, let's. And we're both putting input, and it's like I'm doing voiceovers, he's doing voiceovers, all in my room, and we put this thing together, and we screen it, and people started loving it, and then it started like spreading to like film festivals. It won a couple film festivals. Yeah. And then people that weren't Cuban were into it. People that weren't Latino were into it. And then people were saying, "Man, you make me want to follow my roots." So I was like, "Yo, I loved Anthony Bourdain." And a lot of people say that, but I truly mean, like, I really loved the way that he did film. Rest in peace to Anthony Bourdain. Like, he was going there with using food as the conduit, but to a bigger like message about this country. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to use hip hop and music culture in that way. Mm-hmm. So that was like my goal. So I was like, man, people were telling me, I wish I could go back to my family. So I was like, maybe I could do that for us as a culture. I could go to other countries, and do the same thing we did in Cuba for ourselves, and that's why I changed the catchphrase. I think the first catchphrase for the first Coming Home was like going to a place what was it? Going to a place.
Something about music.
No, going to a place. To a place we've always never been. I don't know. It was something, and then I changed to wherever we find hip hop, we find home.
Yes, I love that.
And then we went to Peru, which we went with Boris, which is me I just wanted to go to Machu Picchu. I always wanted to go to Machu Picchu. I'm like, bro, you're Peruvian, perfect.
Let's go.
Let's go.
And the funny thing is, a lot of Peruvians that we met never been to Machu Picchu, and little less him.
Damn.
So that's dope to be able.
I left Peru very young. So.
Yeah, and then we connected him with his roots out there, and like all these artists, and he's to this day he's working with all these guys, and he's like doing a lot of things.
It's like you planted the seed. This is.
It's crazy, and then we went to Haiti, Haiti was super dope. And we have a lot, we grew up with a lot of Haitians, so we had a lot of Haitian friends. We took my boy who had never been to Haiti, who's Haitian American. Yeah, and then we went to Vietnam, and that one was, my dad fought in the war. Yeah. And that's something that I've always been fixated on the Vietnam War, like as a kid, because my dad wasn't really in my life. So I kind of used the war as like him. Yeah. So I grew up as that little G.I. Joe kid. Like I envisioned myself in Vietnam. I had flashbacks. I was never there.
How was that for you, though?
Going there?
Yeah.
It was emotional, man. Like it was ill because a lot of things that happened that broke up my parents and ruined the family dynamic had to do with him with the war. Wow. And dealing with what he went through in the war. Mm-hmm. He got 2 Purple Hearts out of that war. He came back as he was an alcoholic. He was in the cocaine cowboy days. He was wilding out here. Ex-Marine, Cuban dude. Imagine in the 80s in Miami, he was wilding out.
Yeah, he said it all.
Yeah, so
Cuban ex-Marine. Yeah, it's over.
Because I don't know, we haven't mentioned, but I was born in LA. And my parents, I started to be raised in LA as a young child, and that was my foundation. And then my dad moved to Miami to wild out cocaine cowboy style, and then I moved back and forth 5 different times. Like my mom would take in the middle of the night, like, because my dad's wilding out, like, yo, we gotta dodge, And so that's my memories of my parents being together, is my dad just being crazy and wilding out. So the whole Vietnam experience, that trip, was for me to have closure on that experience and to represent, because what I try to say in that film is like, you might send, like, our governments or our country will send people to war, but the whole family goes to war at the end of the day.
It's true.
We all deal with that. You know, there's the reverberations of what happened in that war to that person, happens to their kids, their grandkids, their spouses, or whatever. Yeah. You know, so that's part of it. And then the other part is I linked up with dope hip hop artists out there. Like one of the dope things, we met this female MC out there called Suboy, who, and this happened with every film almost. Like we met like the illest artists that ended up like being like these big artists that did things after we left. And Suboy, after we left, maybe like 2 months later, Obama went to Vietnam, the first U.S. president, and I don't know how, since the war, to go to Vietnam. And then Suboy got up and started rhyming for him, and he beatboxed for her, and it went viral. It was all over CNN. And that she was in our film, and now she's like sponsored by Adidas. She's like one of the biggest artists in Asia. She's like amazing, you know.
Well, same thing with some of the people that you've had on.
Denai Suarez from Cuba. She got signed to Universal Latino afterwards. We did her first show in Miami. She's a huge international star now. You know, the artists in Haiti are amazing. The Bodycott crew and Rock Fam and then in Vietnam and then we went to Colombia, which is our most recent film, which we're still doing film festivals, and we got a big announcement coming soon that I can't say it yet.
Come on, give me an exclusive.
No, the film festivals prohibited us. They're like, we have to announce it first.
Oh, wow.
You know, but it's gonna be local, and it's gonna be a big film festival. It's gonna be dope. So I mean, if you don't understand what I'm saying from that, like,
yeah, so dope. I can't wait.
Yeah, so I've been holding off doing a lot of showings of it because the film festival stuff is crazy, and the film stuff is a whole other world that I wasn't really into, and I had to learn as we went along. What goes to show you can do anything as long as you're into it, you know, and you have a passion for it. But it's crazy because if you get picked up by a film festival, you can't, screen the film anywhere else, like in that region or in the country. Like it just depends. Like film festivals will prefer if you're a national screening, like premiere or an international. So it prohibits you to do a lot of things. But so Colombia, that's gonna be coming out soon. And we're doing the film festival stuff with that. Super. And then we have the 6th one now that we're gonna do. That we're planning right now.
Where are you going?
You can't
Can
talk
you tell me?
You know what? The reason I don't want to say this
is going to Disney World
because we keep changing our mind, but it's gonna be. We actually locked it in already, though.
I know what's going on, though. I know what you guys are doing.
What?
You guys are just you're going out scouting. You're scouting
for
in
artists?
These countries for artists. That's what you're doing.
No. If I was really like about that business, and everybody told me this, like I would have created this, and I want to do something, but I would have created this network where I would have capitalized off the artists. But that's my point. Like, I don't want to capitalize off these people. I just want to provide a somewhat of a platform. And truth be told, these artists are popping in their country. They don't need me. You know what I'm saying? They don't need us. The thing is, they do look at us as, you guys are from America. America invented hip hop. You guys, they bow down to that. But truthfully, like, one of the things we've discovered in all our films is more and more, they look less to the United States, which is something we need to ask ourselves. And that's what I'm trying to get for the film to do for the U.S. audience. Like, what are we doing wrong or right or what? Like, because they stop. They're not really paying attention to us anymore. They're not really taking our direction anymore. They don't really care what we're saying. They're looking to their peers.
They're
like
from their own group.
Vietnam is looking to Japan and China and to themselves. Which is, if you think about it, happened to us in a micro way in the States, where New York was controlling everything, and then each region was like, yo, we don't really talk like you, we don't act like you, we have our own slang, we have our own way of rapping, we have our own way of doing things. And then New York was like, oh, no, this is the way you do it. If you don't do it like this, it's not happening. And then the West took over, and then the South took over. Yeah. That's what's happening internationally now. And we should ask ourselves as like the who birthed the culture, the country that birthed the culture, what are we letting go of something that we could have like more input in? Or do we want to hold on to it? Do we not? I don't know. I
mean, that's such a weird conversation.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because you have to take into account the amount of success you have in deteriorating a culture.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like financial success. Like the artists that are out on the radio, like just that, I don't know, like it's just dumbed down. It's really dumbed down and we accept it. I don't know. It's a tough conversation, but
the artists in every country have said, you guys don't do hip hop anymore.
What?
You guys don't have hip hop. You have business, and it's food for thought because they're still, these are, more underdeveloped countries, and they're kind of in the stages where we were maybe 10 years ago in terms of they don't have an industry. So they're looking at it as like, we're doing art. We're really, carrying the banner of hip hop, but representing now our country. You guys just sold out all the way. Damn. That's the way that they really look at us.
Well, hip hop has changed a lot since when you started to what it is now. I mean, I still listen to like 90s and 80s music, you know, like I barely even know what's going on in like real time radio nowadays. But I mean, everything is ever changing, just like the technology and like everything. But at least George and I were always trying to kind of like preserve that culture of like the 80s and 90s. And it's like at the end of the day, that's gone. You know, some people that I've ran into that are in their teens, they don't know who Tupac is or who Biggie is. And to me, that's just kind of like, what? Like, how? Well,
that's the fault of all of us, really. I mean, not specifically us, but I always tell people, I think some of the things we don't like, and meaning we, like the generation of like the 90s and mid 90s, the things that we don't like is our fault, because I feel that the artists that came out like in the mid to late 90s or even the early 90s, that's when money came into the picture, and they were too busy like, oh man, like kids, oh shit, I never had this, acting like kids, and now they're growing and maturing, that they didn't take the time to understand like maybe we need to like add more water to this plant, or make sure we maintain this foundation for the long term. Because when I was growing up in hip hop, I remember all the artists that were that were coming out, and the DJs, when they played a song that I didn't know that was old school, I was like, yo, I need to find out what that is, because they made you feel stupid if you didn't know what an whatever this, with Sugar Hill. I might not have grown up on the Sugar Hill. That's not my generation. But if I didn't know about it, I'd need to know about it, because it's the pioneers, it's the people that build the foundation. Yeah. And I feel that my generation, we kind of stopped doing that. We stopped telling the younger generation, like, yo, you need to know this if you don't know about it. We stopped continuing that thing. So, I mean, it is what it is, man.
With that being said, do you feel that having the platform you have now, especially with Drink Champs and all of these different projects that you're involved in, you have some sort of responsibility, or you have a role to play within our industry, within hip-hop?
I mean, yes and no. I feel that you can only do so, like, okay, so when you work as a collective and you collaborate with other people, you can only do so much. Because if they don't share the same sentiments, then, you could push what you want, but then you have all these corporate entities or whatever. So, I mean, we have a responsibility, but how far we can take it, unless it's like me doing it on my own. Like, if you see a project that is just that I'm dealing with, then you're going to see exactly what I believe in and all my morals. But when I'm working collaborative, I have to respect all my partners. They might not have the same feelings or sentiments or be into the same things I'm into. And I have to respect that to be a good partner. So that's just the thing right now. And then, then you bring in, like, if we have a Revolt TV, or if we have this partner, this corporate partner, everybody has an agenda. And they have their own right or their own reason. Hey, we have advertisers. We need to do this. We need to do that. So it's like a push and pull, and then becomes a balance, and you got to just find like that sweet spot. So you feel the responsibility, but it's like sometimes you have one hand tied behind your back.
Gotcha. I mean, you can't make everyone happy, but you have to find a midpoint.
Right. I just try to do things that at the end of the day, like, I just know that I can sleep good at night. That's my business model. I want to sleep good at night. You know what I'm saying? Like, my moral integrity and what I'm doing hasn't been compromised.
Yo, I have to ask you a question, though. I know you've been DJing for a long time.
Right. I'm kind of a retired DJ.
I mean, did you ever rap?
I DJ in my crib by myself.
Did
I what?
Did you ever rap?
Oh, yeah. I rap on my mixtapes.
Yeah?
You still rap?
You want to kick 16, kid?
That would be that would be totally ridiculous.
Well, there's a rule on the show. Yeah. If you're a rapper and you admit that
I'm
you're
not
a rapper.
Damn it. Damn it. Yeah. Hey, Boris.
Yeah, that rapper got shot 9 times in Kendall.
Right.
You could play it. You could find an old rap of mine.
We're going to find it. We're going
to be on the hunt for EFN raps.
Yeah, it's pretty fun.
Versus. That's dope. I mean...
So, liquor.
Right.
Let's talk about liquor.
Yeah, my liver just hurt when you said that.
So in Drink Champs, man, do you have a preferred drink or?
Well, I have with partners, I have my own liquor called Colombian White. It's an aguardiente.
Epa.
Yeah.
That's what's up.
So
Wait, aguardiente?
it's an aguardiente made in Miami, made in Doral actually.
I've had the mojitos with it. And
Yes,
it's
we do
incredible.
at the screenings. We've had them. Yeah, so shout out to my partners in Colombian White. We're actually under the same umbrella with Pitbull's Voli Vodka.
Okay.
We're all distilled in the same company. So I drink that a lot. But historically, I'm a Bacardi drinker. I'm a rum drinker. And then my girl got me onto beer, so now I have this
beer.
this beer belly starting to protrude.
Lord.
And I'm like, it's all your fault, because I never, I was never the beer dude.
No?
Like everybody I knew drank beer. I never I'm like, nah, man, I got liquor, bro.
I mean,
beer.
craft beer is the way to go, though.
No, now you got me. I'm going to it's ridiculous.
Bud
man.
Light.
No, I don't
That's
drink
water.
that.
It's dirty water.
No, I'm drinking like IPAs and I love micheladas. I don't know if you guys know what micheladas are.
Micheladas, no.
It's this, I want to say Mexicans kind of.
Just changed.
No, he knows that I'm on the hunt.
Micheladas.
It's like this. It's this beer cocktail type of thing where.
Beer margarita.
No, it's like a beer Bloody Mary.
Oh, right.
Yeah,
Totally with it.
yeah.
It has hot sauce? I'm with
It
it.
has hot sauce. Oh yeah. I'm a hot
Definitely,
sauce dude.
Give it to me. I'm with it.
So yeah, that's my story. That's my liquor story.
That's my liquor story. Thanks, guys.
But really, any liquor. At the end of the day, any liquor.
That's what's up.
I could drink anything.
That is dope. Now,
Unfortunately.
you have we covered Drink Champs, your other podcast, Coming Home.
Right.
Yo, do you still manage artists?
I mean, I manage my boys still.
There you go.
You know, got Beats in the Hood. You know, Garcia's still doing his thing, big time in the crew.
Shout out Garcia.
He's a huge video director now.
Yeah.
Got Big Drain at the crew. You know, it's yeah.
Shout out to Drain.
Yeah, shout out to Drain. I don't manage Mayday anymore.
Yeah.
We just recently, stopped because I got so crazy with Drink Champs, but that's still family, and in a sense, I'm still their manager.
No,
because it wasn't like I'm not managing you anymore, or it wasn't a problem like that. It's just that things got hectic. It wasn't fair for them and for what they were doing. So I mean, in my mind, I'm still their manager. I still
For sure.
bring opportunities to them, but. Yeah, man.
Speaking of, you continue, just bringing people out, and you guys always put together such great shows, including with Mayday. But you have the Redman concert coming up
We have the
in a
Redman
few
show.
weeks.
Yeah. So that show was supposed to happen last year for our 25th anniversary of Crazyhood. But scheduling got in the way, and so now it's the 26th anniversary, but we're not going to celebrate that. It's kind of weird, Who celebrates the 26th?
Yeah, right?
But so we're really excited. The last time we had Redman here was for my album release party.
That party was out of
For
hand.
my album, yeah. So
Outta hand.
another time, if anybody wants to pick up the album.
Yeah.
So that was in 2015, right, Boris?
Yeah.
And that was an epic show at Blackbird. Shout out to Blackbird and Jerry and them.
Yeah, man. Shout out to Jerry
who,
Blackbird.
Yeah, take care of us with that.
I went to that show. That party was incredible.
So imagine.
That man came out with this energy.
Crazy.
And yo, when you came out and then you gave your talk.
Yeah.
Right as soon as the album was dropping, the whole place there was such an electric vibe.
Yeah, the vibe was just
man.
crazy. I had Mother
So good.
Superior there.
Yes, bro.
For anybody that remembers that, and it was incredible, man. So we're trying to replicate that same energy, and we're bringing them back for that
The
reason.
day before you shot a video.
That same day.
that
That
same day.
same
It was
day.
the same day, right?
Yeah, that's how we
Yeah.
work.
Okay, yeah, it was
that
the
same
same
day.
day.
And the same day of this show, something else is gonna happen, but I can't talk about it.
Yo, shout out to Garcia for.
You gotta give me some exclusive, man.
Yeah,
Give me
man. Yo, he's
something.
got all the exclusives, which is a great thing, man.
I'm just one of those that's where I'm superstitious. Like you talk about it and then something goes wrong, and it's
Yo.
like, ah.
Well, it's always a guaranteed good time with you guys. So no matter what you guys are doing, it's going to be fun. Where can they find you on social media? Where can they get tickets to these shows? Where can they find Coming Home? Lay it all out for us.
Go to crazyhood.com and you could find tickets to the show. You could find links to see the older Coming Homes. The Cuba, Haiti, Peru, and Vietnam are up for you to stream now. They originally aired on Revolt TV. We were the first, just so everybody knows, when Revolt TV launched, we were the first original content that they acquired.
Really?
That they aired on the network, besides like music videos.
That's dope.
Yeah,
So you were the first documentary on there?
Yeah, the first like original anything, documentary, TV show, anything.
Sick. That's dope.
Yeah.
That's dope.
So you can catch those 4. Colombia's yet to come out. We're doing the film festival circuit,
Got it.
and then we're gonna film our 6th one. So crazyhood.com. You can catch me on @who's crazy on IG, @DJ EFN on Twitter. And you can catch us at official Crazyhood on IG and at Crazyhood on Twitter.
Crazyhood everything.
And at Boris CHP. What's your stuff, Boris?
Yeah, you got it.
You got it. You got it, man. I told you a long time ago.
I told you a long time. Beast in the hood. That's dope, man. I mean, what else do you have coming, man? Like that you can speak about?
Give me an exclusive, E. Come on.
I mean, we got the TV bug now, so I'm trying to develop other TV ideas.
That's great.
And, podcasts all day long. I mean, I could do a podcast with all my friends. Well, shout out to my boy, Weird Thoughts, a.k.a. Drink Champ Sports, who's got Dream Big.
Word.
He's got his own podcast. And, I'm trying to get all my people to do podcasts.
Yeah, man.
And we got a new office space with a recording studio and a podcast studio.
What?
So, and we're going to be renting it out as well. Yeah, we're going to be renting it out to anybody that would be podcasters.
So we could talk about this.
Yeah, for sure. Yes. For sure. So if you want a podcast, I'm also going to be consulting people if they need consultation on how to get started. I'm going to offer packages. You get studio time, podcast studio time, and I consult you and, help you get started.
That's so dope, man.
Yeah.
Talk about, you're just a well-rounded individual, man. You're like an octopus with everything.
That's the beer belly,
Tentacles
bro.
everywhere. My beer belly. Reaching for more beer. No, man, thanks a lot for coming out here. Man.
Thank you for having me.
This has been really dope. I mean, we still got some time. You don't want to rhyme? I mean, come on.
I mean, I'll do like the Pootie Tang rhyme. We just stay quiet.
Is there any additional, maybe advice, be it personal or professional, that you would like to offer our listeners?
Well, how about let's
full of
narrow
tricks
it
right
down,
there.
man. How about people that are passion seekers, and people that want to do these passion projects?
Right.
I can imagine you've seen people start and completely stop a million times. Like, what are some of the things that you feel are the keys to your success that you would want to pass down?
I just think people need to be more realistic. I see a lot of dreamers out there that they just have these unrealistic ideas of how things happen.
Give me an example.
You just be like, yo, I'm gonna be a big star, and I'm gonna go in the studio, I'm gonna do this one song,
And I'm going to blow up.
why? I have a good friend, I'm not gonna say his name, and he's my homie, but he's like, yo, I'm gonna do a documentary, blah 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 blah, and I'm like, yo, where? Yeah, it's a great idea for the documentary. How, it's gonna, it's an undertaking. He goes, no, I'm gonna knock it out like in 3 weeks. I'm like, bro, it's gonna take you a year. A year? You out of your mind? I'm like my man's. And then 2 years pass, and I'm like, what happened to your documentary? Well,
I'm still working on it.
So I would just say is like, be realistic, understand that it's a process that sometimes seems like it takes an eternity, but if you chip at it every day, like really put a plan together and chip at it, you'll get there eventually and you'll finish it. And once you start to finish things and you've finished it, then it gives you that confidence. You start to build on that confidence to finish the next thing and the next thing and the next thing. Okay. And the other thing too is when you're passionate about something or you want to be an artist of any kind, understand, don't quit your day job. I've been very fortunate. I'm one of the few people that have been very fortunate that I never really had to have like a regular job. Like right out of high school, I started Crazyhood. Okay. I did some side businesses with family that was outside of music. But outside of that, I never had to like work a regular job. I hustled doing the music. But I was fortunate to have a crew that supported me, that was very, supportive of what I did. And I purposely didn't have a family. I chose not to have kids and all that stuff. While other friends are having kids and they had to go to work and do these things. So I chose a certain, route where now I'm an older dude having a kid, Yeah. So you got to be realistic. Don't quit your day job. Do your passion project till it makes you money and keep your day job.
Actually, that's got to be the best advice anyone's given on this show. Every episode. Because truth be told, you've hit the nail on the head in every one of those topics. I mean, shit, how many times have we all heard, yo, I got this, I got that, and it's a wrap.
And don't front. That's the other thing, too. This is the new age. I mean, this has always happened before Instagram, before social media.
Oh, my God.
The fronting has always happened. This is not a social media thing. It's always been there. But social media has, magnified
blown it up.
Big time.
Stop fronting, because I think at the end of the day, you think that you're benefiting from fronting, but at the end of the day, you hurt yourself, because you're going to end up getting caught out there and you're just going to go into this dark hole of depression because you look dumb. Yeah. Keep it real. Like, there's nothing wrong with creating a perception. You can create perceptions that you didn't manifest a lie, but you just put something out there, you didn't lie about it, and then other people create a perception. There's nothing wrong with that. That's marketing, that's promotion. Totally, I think it's fine. Fair game. But when you straight up lie, that's when you're starting to create problems. And a lot of people, they try to compete with all this social media stuff, not understanding that those people are usually faking it. They're buying followers, they're buying views, they're buying all this stuff, and you can't compete with that.
You can't.
Because they just got deep pockets to do it, you know?
You know, and I know you're very well read. What are you reading now?
Actually, you know what? I don't read.
Get the fuck.
I buy mad books, and I look at them, and I say, if I read, I'd read all these books.
All these suckers.
Yeah, you know what? I'm one of those dudes that when I start reading the page, I'm a visual guy. I'm a documentary guy. I like to see visuals. Yeah. When I start reading a book, my head goes BAM! Right on the book. it's an instant sleep mechanism.
Yo, that is insane.
I have ADD, bro. I need things to move. If those words don't start going in circles, I'm like, BAM!
They snore fast.
There's some great books out there, though.
Oh yeah, there's some great books.
I got them all. I
There's
support
a
all
great
those
book.
books that come out.
You know, I put my head on it, and man, I just fall asleep.
Mad foul,
faster.
because all the people that I post their books up, they're like, this guy doesn't read any of these things.
Now I know.
Yeah, I'm being honest.
Hey, that's awesome.
You see, creating deception.
Exclusives.
I was the guy that loved magazines, but it's a short read. It's a short read.
Any shout out to you guys want to
Just
give
read right
before
through
you
this.
go?
Shout out to the whole Crazyhood crew, to the Drink Champs team also, man. Everybody that supports Drink Champs or anything Crazyhood, I appreciate it. We don't take it for granted, man. Thank you very much.
Awesome, man. I gotta say, man, I always tell this to people, and you're never around. If people want to see a unit that actually works, look at Crazyhood.
Thanks.
Because since I've gotten into music and everything, and you guys, I became aware of you. You've been consistent. You know what I mean? So when I see little people saying, "Yo, we're a family. We're gonna be the cartel.
Right.
We're gonna be the this," yo, that's fine. Where you gonna be in a year?
Right.
Because if you could do what they're doing, you'll be great.
Right.
You know what I mean? And it's just in the sense of you all work together. Everyone's talent is utilized. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I got to give it up to you and
Thank
your
you.
crew. You guys have always been consistent, bro.
Thank you, man.
That is really dope. And I don't have a 16 for you to kick, so.
Nah. I can count to 16.
No, hold up. We also got Will in the studio.
Oh, you gonna bust a rhyme, bro?
Will the Thrill. That's what they used to call me back in the day.
Jen, you rap? Damn it. All right, no, but
One more thing though before we get out of here though.
Tell me.
That I think is important too. This is my our new stage. Is that I think that's important in hip hop is that we mature and we age gracefully and not act like young fools. Not to mean that you can't act like a fool older, like have fun in life. Like that doesn't mean not having fun. But one of the things I'm trying to do now is like, hey man, we could rock a white beard, we could rock a gray beard. I didn't mean it to be this white, by the way. I was trying to stay salt and pepper, and I don't know what happened, man. Stress is real, man. Stress is real. I'm not the age of this white ass beard. I don't know what happened, but I'm not gonna do the Just for Men. I'm just not gonna do it. So all you do is rocking that beige jean. You looking crazy, man. The young people know it's not real, man.
Fact.
So there's no. We can age and we can still do dope shit and we can still have fun. And that's the thing about my crew is that we all met in high school. So when we together, it feels like we're still 16 and 17. So we act a fool. So yeah, that's another thing, man. We need to mature gracefully and within hip hop, music, entertainment, whatever. Because look at all these other genres. Look at other industries. The movies. These people get older and they do better things and they grow and they make businesses. And we need to do the same thing, man. Not knock each other down as we get older. Or young people don't knock them down because they're too young or whatever. Because you think they're young.
No, that's true. Good point. Very good point. Because some dudes that like myself, I've seen kids come up like, nah, nah, kid, nah. And then it's true. You just you have to nurture every.
We got to mentor. We got to be mentors, man, or examples. You don't have to mentor every single person, but try to be an example to that person.
You, I'm your mentor.
Yeah. Come here, kid.
Come here, I like him.
I started mentoring him when he was 14, and that's enough for me, bro.
You've done a great job.
No, but I gotta say,
Still working on the English part. We got this.
Homie hasn't gotten on the mic, but he's doing.
He's doing incredible things, man. I'm super proud of Boris.
Yeah, shout out.
Come
Boris.
on,
What's
Boris.
good, Boris? What you gotta say, bro?
Boris.
I mean, come on, man. Oh man,
He got an ego though. It's mad funny. Look at him. You see him right now. He's like, it's EFN. He goes, give me 2 years, E. You're gonna be sitting back there.
Awesome. That is dope, man. That is real dope. Yo, I gotta
he's
say,
an incredible beat maker, by the way.
yo, Will, you got any shout outs?
You know, shout out to EFN, man. You're a legend.
Thank you.
Dude, I remember going to Crazyhoods. I don't even know how old I was, dude.
Young.
I was
Very
actually, the person who put me on to Crazyhoods was Sharp Sound.
The store? Or
Yeah, the store, because
Crazy Goods.
I'm sorry, Crazy Goods.
97 to 2000 is the year.
Yeah, exactly. And I must have been in middle school or something. Sharp Sound put me on to. Remember Sharp Sound?
Yeah, of course. Come on. Sharp is my brother, man. Shout out Sharp Sound. Come on.
And yeah, dude, I remember buying a DMC Craze DVD, not a DVD, a cassette tape, like when he
VHS
won, a VHS.
Yeah.
I remember buying my first graffiti magazine caps there and everything, dude. It was, and I remember seeing Nori's name written in the dressing room or whatever.
Yeah, we had artists.
And I remember all that shit, man.
It was
dope,
dope,
man. Thank you, man. Thank you so much.
Thank you, man.
Yo, yeah, man. You don't have any other
Hold on. I got a funny ass story.
Oh,
all right. So it's actually my 2-year wedding anniversary today.
Congratulations, man.
He's here with us.
You actually had a big part to do with that.
I did? Was it my R&B mixtape that I put out?
All right, check this out. Wiz Khalifa concert at UM.
Oh yeah, of course, yeah.
I think that's the first time I met you,
Okay.
and that was on my first date with my chick.
Oh, dope. That's dope, man.
Just for the record, Wiz Khalifa Roll Up Instrumental is our talk bed right now. So definitely meant to be.
So shout out to you, man.
That's
I
dope.
think you hooked it all up, man. I'm not gonna lie.
Congratulations, brother.
This worked out. It's really
DJ EFN, thank you so very much for joining us once again. Boris with Beats in the Hood, thank you for joining us as well. Will, thank you for finally making an appearance.
It's good to have you here, bro.
I'll make it back soon.
You came here on your anniversary? That's fucked up, bro.
Right.
So,
For you.
wait. Shout out to Tasha.
Your lady's gonna hate me now.
Shout out. Whoa, hold up. Say it now. Say it loud.
Look, it's only because it's you, though. She let me come. She's like, all right, I gotta put us on.
Yo, I gotta. So yeah, man. Like, shoot. Dude. All right. Hey. So thanks a lot for coming out.
No doubt.
DJ EFN, Beats in the Hood. Andrea, thank you for such a wonderful experience today. We have
Thank you, guys.
little things to grub on. I got Will in the studio. Finally, Jen in the studio. I want to thank everyone for coming out. This has been a great episode. It's really dope.
What a
It's
way to
about time I
start
got
off
EFN on the show.
2019, huh?
I was gonna say
Thank you so
1999. I don't know
much.
why.
1999.
Anyways,
Once again, guys, thank you so much for
Yeah.
joining us. True pleasure. You guys are welcome here anytime. Mi casa, su casa. And
Girl, do
for
you
now, this
Do
is
you
Dre
breathe?
Mob.
I mean, you went straight away. All right, I got a quick shout out.
You guys can catch me on the gram at 305_brownie. If you missed any of the information for DJ EFN or Boris from Beats in the Hood, feel free to hit me up and we'll be happy to provide you guys with that information. Thank you once again for tuning in to 305 Radio, a part of 305 Magazine.
Yeah,
Killing it, bro.
saying, yo.
On your number one underground
Yo, I'm
station,
saying.
MiamiUndergroundRadio.com.
Yo, thank you for tuning in.